Welcome to the Launch to Six podcast, a podcast about how you can launch your online business from 0 to 6 figures in 24 months or less, regardless of your prior experience. Now, here's your hosts.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Launch to Six podcast. This episode, you're here with myself and with Casper.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey man, all good. So this episode is going to be a little different and a little more personal, actually. Focusing around focus moving forwards, and in particular, working with different how can I describe it, Casper? I'm trying to think what the best word would be.
It's mindset, maybe.
Yeah, mindset, and focusing on particular states of mind as you go forward. Now, Casper, you've been identified as having ADHD.
Yes, that's right.
And I know that this affects you in different ways in business. And I think that for many people, being aware of this, I think it's really important. And then more so, and we'll do an episode next about this on how to sort of, overcome this. And in certain regards, having great lessons for actually focusing in general, even if you're not identified as having ADHD. I mean, where to start? What is ADHD? Casper?
Well, ADHD is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or that's what it's short for. But it's essentially classified as a mental health disorder that affects your level of focus, your impulsiveness, your hyperactivity, and it just generally impacts how you focus, how you think, how you approach tasks, and it can massively change your day-to-day life to somebody who, say, doesn't have ADHD.
And when you were sort of growing up, when did you first start to become aware that it was a little bit different for you growing up in terms of, approaching things, when were you first aware that it was a bit different?
Well, I mean, I've always been aware of ADHD. I mean, I heard about it growing up, and I never assumed I had it. I had a few friends that got diagnosed with it, and to be honest, they didn't really seem too different from myself, but it never really struck me until I had to start taking my exams. And I actually found out that people with ADHD can get additional time allowances to focus on exams. And I kind of thought, well, hey, I mean, it's a bonus. I can get something extra. So why not try and see if I can find out if I have ADHD. So I actually got diagnosed in my later teens. I went to the doctor, and he essentially asked me all of the questions, and I kind of answered as truthfully as I could, and I kind of realized that, wow, I've actually probably ticked most, if not all, of the check boxes and all of the questions. Wow. He asked me about like fidgeting, about my attention span, about like my levels of activity, about my levels of commitment to starting certain things, impulsiveness, forgetfulness, just literally a whole array of things. So I started looking into it some more, and essentially trying to learn more about it and understand it, kind of understand how I think, understand how other people that are a certain way, how they go about their day-to-day lives. And yeah, I found that hugely powerful. I found ways to curb it, to control it, to utilize it, to all of that.
And we'll go in next episode. We'll go into some particular sort of strategies that sort of apply to anybody, to be honest, but more kind of extremely, I suppose, to yourself when going through your day. I mean, you've listed some of the sort of downsides, as you said, lack of focus, fidgetedness, and you're thinking, oh, these aren't good traits. But alongside that, I mean, you work very closely with me and Tom in Launch 6 Immersing Media, and you are the technical hand. And obviously, guys, I'm very, very lucky to be with someone who's so talented as Casper. But honestly, what he puts together blows my mind. Now, it doesn't kind of go in line with someone who can't focus, who's fidgety, which you code, which is extremely, for me, I can't even focus on it. Now, what are some of the good sides to having ADHD? What are some of the the good traits of that? Because there are many, which
Yes,
I've seen you.
what you were actually getting at is something called hyperfocus, which is something that people with ADHD tend to experience every so often. I mean, when this comes along, it's like a pure state of bliss. It's just whatever you're focusing on, you just have like unlimited focus, and you can just divert as much time and energy and creativeness at this task as you want. And it's essentially limitless, and you can go on for hours, and kind of time goes by in the blink of an eye. I've had this a few times when I was learning musical instruments. Like when I first got my guitar, I just like sat down for days and I just learned every single possible song I could until my fingers were like, they literally bled and I wasn't able to play anymore. So yeah, no, like you say, there are certain positive aspects to it.
And I mean, how are you like personally, managing? Obviously we work together, we have a successful business together, which I'm very proud of. And coming from you though, how do you manage that sort of personally?
Well, how do I manage it? I discovered quite early on that I would have a lot better attention and focus if I'd been doing something active, physically demanding that day. And if I was, playing tennis or kind of out skiing or running, or if I had like a particularly intensive game of football that day at school, I was just able to focus a lot better. So, I started hitting the gym, I started working out, and all of these things were able to essentially divert my energy towards the exercise, and then leaving me free to essentially focus on the task later on. I can only speak from my personal experience, because naturally everyone's different, but I find exercise is hugely beneficial. If I don't exercise, if I don't work out for like 3 or 4 days, I just get fidgety, I get restless, I just can't focus, I just become agitated, scatterbrained. It's an essential part of my routine, of my mental well-being kind of routine. Just for you guys listening in, the purpose of us going through this is really to raise awareness of this. So if there's yourself or someone in your life, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just the way in which you approach your business, your life. Like you say, it was very often used as a slightly negative label. I was often kind of dismissed as being inattentive, or say easily bored. People would kind of feel almost insulted if I would kind of get distracted while they were explaining something to me mid-sentence. Most of my time at school, I was considered your typical class clown. I would back chat the teacher, anything to get a laugh. I'd put the bin over my head. I'd throw chairs. I'd write rude words on the blackboard. All of that stuff.
We did go to school together, but I do remember elements. This is hence the name Menacing Media, guys. Like we were both quite mischievous kids.
There is a backstory behind that.
There is. It's obviously a reason for Casper there. I don't know what was for me. I think I was just a bad child.
No, I always thought that would kind of be my trajectory in life. I would kind of not really amount to very much. I wouldn't really ever have the skills required to hold down a job for long enough, because I just had this rebellious nature within myself to kind of just go against whatever was being told to me. But my kind of my moment of realization was when I got my first job in IT. It was in artificial intelligence, in language technology. The CEO actually told me that he had ADHD, and I thought, wow, okay, I wasn't expecting that. But then I did a little bit of research, and I found that the prevalence of ADHD among entrepreneurs and CEOs is 3 times higher than that of the general population, which I found actually very intriguing. I found it very inspiring. I was like, wow, I have the mindset of an entrepreneur. Why don't I focus all of my energy on doing this? Because I've obviously got the the predisposition to succeed. So yeah, that, I mean, it was inspiring. It was a bit difficult growing up, and I can honestly, hand on my heart, say that if I could choose to be neurotypical, I wouldn't, because I love my ADHD. I love my way of thinking. I love being different. I think it's great. I'm quite proud of it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
No, that's awesome. And I mean, you know, to sort of wrap up, I mean, guys, that's one of the big reasons that we want to do this, is use this platform just to sort of raise awareness of that. In fact, I mean, it's not in the works, but we have purchased the domains Menacing Mental Health. I don't know when we're going to take that live. We will do, but it is something that's very close to our hearts.
Yes, big plans.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, with this, it is just gaining awareness. If you found that you're feeling a little bit out of place, you've had those spaces, you can get this checked or not, but it's I don't know,
yes, do speak to a professional. I found that helped me a lot. Also, reading online, there's lots and lots of people out there with similar stories. I found it very validating. I found it very useful to kind of read how people deal with their ADHD. But yeah, no, overall, there's so many resources out there. There's so much good stuff out there.
Amazing. And let's say the next episode, guys, we're going to go into some really specific strategies around focus, and this is off the back of this episode, obviously. So defining what ADHD is. I mean, we're going from Casper's very personal experiences, which thanks, man, for really sharing that. And
thank you, Tomasz.
And yeah, we'll dive into that, guys. So stay tuned, and very excited to see you on the next episode. Take care, guys.
Fantastic, guys. Take care. See you later.
Hey guys, it's Tomasz. We hope you guys have enjoyed the episode as much as we've loved putting it together for you. Please, guys, do us a huge favor. Hit that love button, hit that subscribe button, and review us on Apple iTunes. We do read the comments. We want to improve our content and give you guys the best that we've got. Equally, the best comment, guys, we will shout you guys out, and we are giving out free courses. So guys, please come hit that love button, leave us a review, and we'll catch you on the next podcast, guys. All the best. Take care.